Thanks so much for clicking on this English lesson. I know there are a lot of amazing English teachers here on YouTube, and you chose me. That means a lot. Thanks again. Now, there are some Americans who are already suffering because of this government shutdown. I have done an English lesson on the shutdown. I will leave that link at the end of this English lesson. But things are getting real now. People are really suffering because they haven't been paid in quite a while. If they are federal employees, we will talk about what federal means. They are not getting paid. Now, I am a teacher in an American high school, but I am paid by the state, so my paycheck is not being affected. In today's English lesson, you are going to learn about 20 new terms you might see on the IELTS or TOEFL exam, or you might hear if you have a conversation with a native English speaker. Watching the news is a great way to improve your English, but unfortunately, they use some very difficult terms. Fortunately, you have me. We will talk about all of the difficult terms they use. By the end of this English lesson, I promise your English will be just a little bit better. Let's watch that English lesson together, and then I will come back and teach you all of those terms.
The largest labor union of federal employees is breaking with Democrats and pushing for an immediate deal to end this government shutdown. Thousands of federal workers will not get their scheduled paychecks this week. The shutdown now may have an even bigger impact starting this Saturday. Caitlin Huey-Burns has that part of the story.
Aaron Annis is one of more than 40 million Americans who rely on federal food assistance.
We're just people that just need to eat and have some security in our lives. That's what it's about.
But due to the government shutdown, that help may soon run out. The USDA has declared that there will be no benefits issued beginning this Saturday, November 1st.
Labor union. When you hear labor in English, think work. When you hear union, think like many people together as one. So a labor union is a group of workers who join together to protect their jobs and rights. Here is a sentence that uses labor union. The teachers' labor union fought for better pay for the workers. And in the picture, we have what looks like teachers, and they are striking. They are refusing to go into work until their demands are met. So yes, I mentioned I am a teacher, and I do belong to a teachers union. And the idea is that we are stronger together to ask our bosses for better pay, more benefits, things like that. We're stronger together than we would be if we were alone. Breaking with. Now, break in English has a lot of different meanings, but breaking with means to stop supporting someone or something, to separate from a group. So it's almost the opposite of union. Take a look at that sign in the back. It says Unity Party. So unity means together. The mayor is breaking with his political party because he disagrees with them. Immediate is next, and that is happening right now or very soon. I'm not sure if you like this or not, but when you sit down at a restaurant and you immediately get service, immediately is the adverb. In the sentence, it's used as an adjective. The restaurant gave immediate service when we sat down. In the United States, we have 50 states. Each state has their own government, but all of the states fall under the federal government. The capital of the federal government is in Washington, D.C. Federal, that is about the national government of a country. The Army is part of the federal defense system. And yeah, our military, they are federal employees, so they are not getting paid right now either because of the government shutdown. Just a few days ago, Jamie, my wife, and I, we went on a plane ride. We took a trip to South Carolina. The people who do security at airports, They are federal employees. They haven't been paid in quite a while. Federal laws are rules for the whole United States. Do you know this word? Scheduled. Scheduled. In Great Britain, England, they pronounce it a little differently, but in the United States, we say scheduled. And that means planned to happen at a certain time. Let's take a look at that picture. You can see there is a calendar there, and it looks like there is a meeting scheduled. The meeting is scheduled for 3 p.m. I'm sorry, but I need to interrupt the English lesson for just a second. I am offering private tutoring, one-on-one English conversations with me. I will record the lesson. You will be able to watch it many times as you want. And right now, I am offering a discount code. It's fall 15. Fall is ending soon, so I'm not exactly sure how long this coupon will be good for, at least the next couple weeks. Click on the link in the comments or the description for more information. You can see when I'm available. If you sign up, there will be a little form to fill out. You can ask me questions. I can prepare some kind of lesson for you if you would like. I know it's super hard to find a speaking partner, but I can be that guy for you. Look forward to speaking with you. Okay, now back to the English lesson. Here we have a phrasal verb, rely on. Rely on. It means to need or depend on someone or something. And in the picture, we have some crops growing. Crops, the name of those plants, food that is in the ground. Farmers rely on rain to grow their crops. I hope you rely on this YouTube channel to help you improve your English and get a little bit of the news. Oh boy, we have a long one here. This is an acronym. An acronym is a word where all of the letters in the word stand for like another word. So the USDA, it stands for the United States Department of Agriculture. When you hear agriculture in English, think farms. And that is the part of the government that helps farmers and food programs. And here we have a carton of eggs. The USDA gives money to help food programs in schools.
For Annis, it's a daunting deadline. The Pennsylvania native never thought she'd need SNAP benefits, but 3 bouts of cancer and a double knee replacement left her unable to work.
Having those resources, what does it mean for your life?
Everything. It means everything to me.
What exactly do you think you're going to need to do?
I'll have to ask my children to help me.
And what is...
That's an awful feeling.
How so?
For them to have to help me.
Even in...
It's a little tough to think about sometimes.
She'll also turn to her local food pantry.
I'm sure when you first started learning English, it was quite daunting. Do you know that word, daunting? It's something that feels difficult or scary to do. Take a look at this woman. She is thinking about running a marathon. A marathon is a race that is 26.2 miles. I don't know how many kilometers that is, but running a marathon is daunting for many people. I know it would be for me. Here's another sentence. Speaking in front of the whole school can be daunting. Take a look at that mountain. It might feel quite daunting if you have to climb that entire thing. SNAP, that is a program that gives money to people who need help buying food. And sometimes you will hear those called food stamps. When I was a kid, they were actual little stamps people might use to buy food. Now it's more like a credit card. My friend uses SNAP to buy food for his family. Here's a word I know I have never taught on this channel, and this channel is like 5.5 years old. Bouts. Bouts. Short times when something difficult happens. Take a look at that picture. It looks like this woman has recently moved to the United States. She has bouts of homesickness since moving to the United States. A pantry, that is just a place in your kitchen where you keep food, but they use pantry a little differently in the newscast. Here it means a place where you store food. A food pantry gives food to people who need help. And in the picture, you can see there is a woman. It looks like she is visiting the food pantry. Here you can find free food if your family needs it.
She'll also turn to her local food pantry. Shyla Ulrich is CEO of the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank and is expecting demand to increase.
People are scared. It's a moment where people don't know and understand what's about to happen, whether or not they'll get those benefits should the government open back up or when.
And while lawmakers continue to point fingers,
the best way for SNAP benefits to be paid on time is for the Democrats to end their shutdown.
They shut the government down, then they left town, and now they're nowhere to be found.
Anna says she just wants politicians to talk to each other and find a solution.
This should not be a political issue. This should be a human privilege to be fed.
Now, the USDA announced that it cannot legally tap into a contingency fund to help pay for SNAP benefits, saying that that's reserved for natural disasters.
Here we have an idiom. So I can point my finger at the camera, but sometimes when you hear people are pointing fingers at each other, it's an idiom. Yeah, they might be doing this, but it means something a little deeper. It means to blame someone for something bad. And right now, Democrats and Republicans are pointing fingers at each other as to who is to blame for this government shutdown. But in the picture, I have a slightly different example. The coach told his players not to point fingers at each other after the horrible loss. So yeah, I know the coach is pointing his finger there, but again, this is an idiom. And here in the picture, the team is actually pointing fingers at each other, but remember, pointing fingers is usually just an idiom. Next, we have privilege. And privilege is a special advantage that some people have and others do not. This is a little sad. I always try to remember that I am very privileged to live in the United States. When I go into the bathroom or the kitchen, I can turn on the faucet and water comes out. Not everyone has the privilege of having safe drinking water at home. I said a few minutes ago that my wife and I traveled to another state. We flew there on a plane. I feel very privileged to be able to visit other countries. This year alone, I have visited Paris, Mexico, India, a couple other US states. Here's a sentence about that. He felt privileged to travel to another country and meet new people. Tap into. That means to use something that can help you. The city will tap into federal money to fix the roads. Here's a sentence and a picture that go together. She tapped into her creativity to finish the art project. Great word to know in English. I bet they might put this on the IELTS or TOEFL from time to time. Contingency. It's always good to have a contingency plan. That's a backup plan for something unexpected. The school has a contingency plan if the power ever goes out. Reserved is next. That means saved for someone or for a special reason. Now, this is not true at my school, but you can see in the cafeteria there is a reserved table for teachers. This table is reserved for teachers, meaning nobody else can sit there but teachers. If you look at the picture, I see students sitting at that table, and it looks like they are the same students who have those headlamps on for when the power goes out. How about this sentence? This also kind of relates to me. I reserved some time this afternoon to finish planning for my English lesson. Yeah, the English lesson you are watching now, but also the English lesson I will be teaching in my classroom tomorrow. A proposal. Proposal, that means a plan or idea that someone suggests. Her proposal explained how to make lunch healthier for students. And here the picture and the sentence go together. The company rejected the proposal to build another factory because it was too expensive. Congratulations, you made it to the end of another English lesson. I hope I did a good job. I am still a little tired from my trip. If you check out my other English channel, American English Brent 2, you'll see some videos from South Carolina. That's where my wife and I went to. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.